Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to regenerate registration marks. Okay, here we have our registration marks, and these cut just fine. This was on a project, but it's kind of a unknown deal how to do this, and I just kind of figured it out one day on accident, and it actually works really well. So say you print something, say you print a big project and you've printed it and it's you print your registration marks on everything and say you didn't cut it, you lost the file, you have to remake the file, but you're sitting there wondering, well, how the heck am I going to know where those registration marks are? Well, you can literally measure them on your print and figure out where you put them. Or let's go to this one. Now these two pages are exactly the same, this 1 and 2, okay? So if we go over here, now this is in CorelDRAW 2021. If we go over here to registration marks, and here's these registration marks right here, and then all of this stuff up above there tells the Graphtec, it tells the Graphtec cutter or plotter, any kind of plotter, where your registration marks are and where to make the cuts. Now, if we just know where these are, you can do it by measuring it, and these are our registration marks. Like if I hide them there, let's see here. Got that unlocked. Let me make sure. Okay, we're on page 1. Let's select this one right here. Okay, so it's these ones. Okay, these were my extra ones I had before. Let's see. If we were to hide those, these are the ones. Okay, so let's do this. These ones that are on there right now are the ones that that I have or I measured, say for instance, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to expose the regular ones, and they're unlocked. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on these. I'm going to delete them, okay? And when we send this to generate the registration marks, okay, so now they're deleted. So none of this stuff matters anymore. We can actually delete all this stuff that says registration marks up here. We can just delete that because we don't really care about it anymore. Color, all this stuff up here is from registration marks, margins, all this stuff. Okay, so, and let's see something here. Let's go to 2. Okay, margins, color, yeah, let's go to 2. Let's unlock both these right here, margins and color. Let's delete that, and let's go back here and delete that. Okay, so basically now we're starting with a clean slate, but these are where I printed those registration marks, or this is where I actually measured my vinyl, my print, and this is where my registration marks are. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a pain in the butt to do that, but you can actually get it close enough to save it by measuring it, or I'm going to show you how to do it the easy way. If we already have the file with the registration marks on it, we can just go ahead and hide those, okay? So now I'm going to go to generate my registration marks in Graphtec, and that's going to be registration marks CM5. Works on CM4, works on all of them. So we'll give it a minute here, and we always hide our artwork. We just want to send in our kiss cuts and our perf cuts. That takes the program a lot less time. Okay, so this is actually some perimeters that are set up right now for, so you got margins, and you got your registration marks and all that stuff. Now, you can write all that down too, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit OK. Okay. So what happened here is when it generated these registration marks, see, I had them spaced out a lot farther before. If you were to go to cut this right now with these registration marks this close, It might work. 99% of the times it will not work, okay? So I'm going to go ahead now, see how it regenerated the margins, the colors, the registration mark. Let's see. Let's put this one on here. Okay, so here's the new registration marks that it put on here. Now I can't select them because it's locked. If I unlock them, then I can now would be able to select them. And see, when I printed before, I printed the registration marks. I'm going to expose those old registration marks. I printed the farther away registration marks. So, and I don't know why this took me so long to figure it out. I've wasted a lot of stuff that got printed. But anyways, all we'll do is we'll select the wrong registration mark. Now, and the reason you do this, and it sounds weird, but it's actually going to recalculate the registration marks for you as you move them. So if I just tried to, if I try to use these old registration marks, they're not registered to anything. They don't have any of this stuff up here that says anything or tells anything about them. So what I have to do is I have to move the new registration marks on exactly on top of the old registration marks. And all I'm going to do is select the new one, select the old one, and go to my align. I'm going to align it center vertically and center horizontally. Now that registration mark is lined up on the old registration mark. I'm going to do the same to all 4 of them. I know it's hard to figure out how does this work, and you might just mess around with it sometime. I'm going to select that inside one, go to the outside one. It's really a good idea because you need to know how this stuff works. And it's not a bad idea just to figure this out, waste a day doing it, whatever, but if you get it figured out. Okay, so now I've moved those registration marks. But what I'm going to do now is my old registration marks, which are right here, and you can tell because I actually changed this to say registration marks, where theirs just says reg like that and all these numbers. All these numbers tell you where those things are at. So I'm going to go ahead and hide my old registration marks. Okay. So now when I send this to Cutmaster 5, which is right here, and I'll show you what the difference is. If I would have sent it with the other registration marks without any of the detail for them, it doesn't really, it has no idea they're registration marks. It just thinks it's another layer of something that you want to cut. Okay, so here we are opening Cutmaster 5, and you can see the new registration marks. It's hard to see this because they're under the axis, but here they are right here. So when we go and click on it, now I usually do this out of habit. I usually grab everything, just mouse on it and move it over more to the center if I can. You can also grab right here and move that to the right, and then that will move it to the center too. But if we go here to our layers, now if I wouldn't have went to the trouble to redo the registration marks, it would have came up with that my old registration mark as one of the layers. So my kiss cut is my second layer. My perf cut, or I mean my condition, my kiss cut is my second condition. My perf cut is my third condition. So this will cut perfectly to how my printed vinyl is. So it's pretty neat. I was really happy to figure that out. Like I said, these are my old registration marks with no detail. These are the new registration marks with all the detail lines up here that I moved to be in the exact same place that I had previously printed those other registration marks. If you have any questions or anything, leave them in the comments. And please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.